Hello, hello, hello! I am Kazasagi Usagi, and I am here with more Final Fantasy XIV. We are here in Heaven's Ward now, when hanging out with Orchafon's father. And our friends got arrested for heresy, our last two remaining friends, so that's a little awkward. We're gonna go save them, I assume. But I gotta turn my music back up, because I forgot. I always forget. Okay. What's the stitch, Daddy-o? Though you have won the hearts and minds of many of my countrymen, there are those who will never be swayed. Men who will dismiss your efforts and resent your success, even as we celebrate them. 'Tis like that one such member of House Zamel is manipulating Sir Gino, for he is not a man to dabble in politics of his own volition. He may genuinely believe your friends to be guilty, though I am quite certain his masters know better. Yet the truth will avail us not if we cannot prove their innocence. You would do well to speak with Sir Emmerich at our Congression of our Knights Most Heavenly. He will know more of these charges. We haven't seen Emmerich in a hot minute, have we? Oh, I'm excited. Does he know I'm here? Is he thinking about me? Is this not... Oh, there we go. I thought I knew where I was going, and then I turned around and I was like, I don't know where I am. Damn. Emmerich, your office is so close to the bar. Lucia... Oh, there's Orchaphon. I walked right past you. Akali! I had but this moment resolved to go and fetch you. I presume you have heard what happened then. That they should regard the Scions with such suspicion even after you stood with us on the steps of faith. It is bad comedy. Yet unlike the grave injustice you suffered in Ul'dah, this wrong may be swiftly be righted. This man is almost taller than me, and I am on his goddamn table. It has been too long, Akali. Would that this visit came under happier circumstances. You are come to plead for Master Alphino and Mistress Tataru, I take it? Word of their detainment reached us while I was delivering my report on the Vanu Primal. Truly I do not know which is more ludicrous, these charges or that flying feathered whale. That Sir Gnu's accusations are baseless, I have no doubt. Refuting them will be difficult, however, as he is a knight of the Heaven's Ward. I speak of the personal guard of the Ishship, the 12 finest knights in all of Ishgard, sworn to serve his eminence alone. Suffice it to say, their testimony is unimpeachable, and I have not the authority to challenge their actions. After all the Scions have done, routing the heretics and defeating Shiva, helping us defend the steps of faith and drive back the Dravanian horde, after proving themselves true allies on countless occasions, is there naught we can do? I fear there is but one path left to us. We must demand a trial by combat. Oh, but of course! In a trial by combat sanctioned by the Inquisition, the victor's claim is judged true, regardless of the petitioner's standing. Under Ishgardian law, a trial by combat pits the accuser against the accused. In this instant, Master Alphino and Mistress Tataru would be expected to face Sir Gnu and a second of his choosing, another knight of the Heaven's Ward, most like. 2 of them! By the fury, that can hardly be considered fair! Master Alphino's magical talents will not have gone unnoticed, meaning that he will have no choice but to participate. Mistress Tataru, on the other hand, is quite obviously bereft of martial skill, and should be afforded the right to name a champion to fight in her stead. Lest you doubt, I am ready and willing to serve in this capacity, as I am sure is Lord Orchaphon, but all here present know that you are the most accomplished warrior among us, and mayhap in the realm at large. Then it is settled! I will visit Master Alphino at once and inform him of our intentions. Akali, meet me at the tribunal when you have made ready. Until then, my friend. The trial will be held at the Supreme Sacred Tribunal of Hellenic Inquisitory Doctrine, Jesus, and will be in attendance, as will many others with a vested interest in the outcome. Stint not in your preparations, my friend. The Knights of the Heaven's Ward will prove a stern test for even one such as you. You are so fucking tall. Look at this. Yeah, oh, the tribunal, there we go. Listen carefully, Cully. When the trial begins, the petitioner will be asked to restate his charges and the accused invited to respond. Then, in accordance with the law, they will be asked to restate their request for trial by combat. Once the High Educator acknowledges Mistress Tataru's right to name a champion, that is when you must make your entrance. Oh, I cannot wait to see the look on Sir Ginu's face when he sees his true opponent. 'Twill be priceless. More seriously, should you begin to lose heart, look to me in the stands, and I shall cheer so loud you will wonder how you could ever have contrived to doubt yourself. Now are you ready? Oh, Archifant. That's the sweetest line. Just look to me. Believe in me, who believes in you, he said.
We are gathered here today under the watchful gaze of the Fury to ascertain the guilt of 2 souls in a trial by combat. Petitioners, step forward. Sir Grino, for the benefit of all here present, I would ask you to repeat the charges which you have leveled against this man and this woman.
I, Sir Grino de Zemile, brother of the Heavens Ward, did bear witness to these 2 foreigners consorting with heretics.
That is not a voice I expected to come from that man. And you're right, Springley, I should pull out my smoking gun immediately, my illegal evidence that I've just got flying out of my pockets.
Let the accused step forward. Alfino Leveilleur, Tataru, you have heard the charges leveled against you. Will you take up arms to refute Sir Grino's claim, and thereby prove your innocence in the eyes of gods and men?
I, Alfino Leveilleur, am innocent of this charge, and claim my right to trial by combat.
I, Tataru, am innocent of this charge. But I am no warrior and cannot fight. So, I claim the right to name a champion.
To the old and the infirm, the young and the weak, this right we allow. Very well. Who will stand for this woman?
Just as I was beginning to doubt the efficacy of the Ishgardian justice system. Come, my friend. Let us put an end to this mummer's farce.
I'm about to make these Heaven's Ward Knights, the strongest knights in all the land, look like a bunch of toddlers.
Render unto us your judgment. Raise up the righteous, and cast down the wicked.
Guardian man in my way.
I have my pride.
Yeah, Ellen? guess I should get Elfino out of that, huh?
I've got you now.
Down with you!
That looks like a problem. Elfino! Elfino's super beam.
This isn't funny. It's over.
It really is. Camera's a menace. Wow, World of Warcraft doesn't have a... I was just actually talking about this, 2 days ago. World of Warcraft doesn't have a lot on Final Fantasy XIV. I find Final Fantasy XIV to be the better game. However, WoW's camera, the fact that you can zoom so far out is way better in raiding situations than Final Fantasy XIV's camera. There's a lot of mechanics that are visually required in Final Fantasy XIV, and that I have to, like, constantly, like, turn my camera around to try and see what's happening with just mere seconds is something that I have a very difficult time doing. And if I could just pull my camera back just a smidgen, I would have a much better time. I would have a much better time doing a lot of things that I do in this game. I just need it just a little bit back. Just pull it back. Oh, you can be strong, Sprightly. I believe in you. They won. I mean, we won. The Fury has spoken. Elfino Levier, Tataru Taru, you are hereby acquitted of all charges. Blessed are we who received of her wisdom and see justice wrought by her divine hand. Petitioners accused, go forth in peace. Delivered from an untimely demise yet again. My thanks as always. Are you proud of me, Oshifon? Did you see me do it? By the Fury, what a splendid victory! To see how you strove in the face of adversity, two brave young souls bound together by the puissant bonds of camaraderie. Why, it stirred me to the very depths of my soul. Having been treated to such a rousing spectacle, it seems only right that I present you with a humble token of mine admiration. Pray receive of me this chocobo whistle. With it you may summon a black chocobo, fully trained and ready to fly. I feel like I have done that. I will take a look at it at another point in time. But I don't know if that'll help so much with some of the things that I need to see. The arenas are so big and you're so close to your character. More is the issue. Magnificent, is she not? Strong yet sleek, elegant yet eager. What say you, Akali? Will you take her for your steed? She's beautiful. Lord Orshifon, chocobos are prohibited in the supreme sacred tribunal of Hellenic inquisistory and doctrine. Your steed must remain outside. Orshifon, you just can't bring the horse. You can't bring a chocobo into sacred places. You can't do that. He gave me a chocobo though, because he was so proud of me. You have obtained a black chocobo. When riding this mount, you will have the ability to fly, provided that certain conditions have been met. To fly in a given region, you must first find and attune to all the local aetherite currents. In order to attune to some currents, you will need to complete certain quests. However, most can be discovered via exploration. To aid you in this endeavor, you have also obtained an Aether Compass, which will provide you with both the bearing and distance in the nearest Aether current upon use. Should you lose this compass, you may speak with Gilbrant at the Forgotten Knight to obtain another. To review your progress, select Travel from the main menu, followed by Aether Currents. This is an absolute nightmare. Hold on. I wonder if it'll show me anything. Oh, technically I haven't seen these regions yet. Okay. I'll show you the nightmare that is unlocking flying. It's no longer handed to you. That's not true, Sprightly. Lord Orshifant thinks you could do with a well-deserved rest. Black chocobos are well and good, but the true reward for your efforts is the exoneration of your comrades. They shall be released upon the completion of a certain minor formalities, which I mean to see to personally. In the meantime, pray return to Fort Tom's Manor. The Count has done so already, and will doubtless be eager to discuss the day's events. Rest assured that Master Alphino and Mistress Tataru are no longer in danger. They will join you at the manor anon. Thanks, buddy. There's a lot of people outside the Fort Tom's Manor. What's going on here, buddies? Cutscenes everywhere. Welcome, Mistress Yana. Shall I show you inside the manor? Yes. My family's all here. It brings me joy to see you in good health, Mistress Yana. Are you trying to become the talk of the city? Because if you are, you're doing an admirable job of it. I was not present at the trial, but my father told me of your performance. He said you are a wonder to behold. Oh, are you sweet on me, Daddy Four Tops? Alona smiles on us yet again, Mistress Yana, guiding you to a victory and setting your comrades free. I confess I did fear for your safety, which is not to say I doubted your prowess, you understand. I merely knew the strength of your opponents. You do have a habit of exceeding my expectations. Besting two of the Heavens Ward while the city elite looked on? By the fury, anyone who hasn't been paying attention to you will surely do so from now on. My lord. We have just received the message from the vault. His Eminence, the Archbishop, requests the presence of Mistress Yana. An invitation from the Archbishop! What an honor. A personal summons is indeed a great honor, and given recent events, you would be wise not to delay. Go, Mistress Yana, we shall speak anon. A priest will be waiting for you outside the vault. Identify yourself to him, and he will escort you inside. Oh boy. A meeting with the Pope! I'm sure it will be fine, and he's not going to murder me. Do not worry about Master Alphino and Mistress Tataru. We will tend to them when they return from the tribunal. Oh, you all have the same dialogue. Very well. I don't know. I don't feel like this Pope can be trusted. But we'll see. Don't think there's a teleport for the vault. I think I gotta walk. I actually think I could have gone straight ahead and it would have been faster. I actually could have done that. Well, such is life. We are honored to receive you, Mistress Yana. This way, please. It's Popin time.
Your Eminence, it is my honor to present to you the Warrior of Light.
I have heard the tales of your many grand endeavors. The Lord Commander has also been most effusive in his praise. I am Thorin VII, Archbishop of the Ishgardian Orthodox Church, and I bade you come here that I might offer my personal apologies. You will forgive me for not calling upon you as courtesy would dictate. But, as you can see, my more sprightly days are long behind me. But I digress. Your companions were wrongly accused of heresy and subjected to gross indignities. This, I am sorry to say, was the result of negligence on the part of our nation's protectors. Negligence born of an excess of zeal. Is that not so, Sir Zephyrin?
Yes, Your Eminence. Regrettably, it would appear that we of the Heavens Ward were in receipt of erroneous information. Sir Grinno has ever been headstrong. He pressed charges before the truth had been ascertained, for which I most sincerely apologize.
An unfortunate misunderstanding born of an earnest desire to serve Ishgard, but one which should never have occurred. For who could doubt the character of those who bested Shiva and drove the Horde from the steps of faith? Not I. That much is certain. That will be all, Sir Zephyrin. I would speak with our guest in private.
Your Eminence? As you wish, Your Eminence. That will be all for today.
Man, Pope's got big balls. I've been accused of regicide. You could be next, old man. I'm crazy. You have no idea what I'm capable of. It's the those cuts. He looked at me, and I looked at him, and he looked at me.
Privacy is a luxury rarely afforded one in my position.
Those are hilarious cuts.
Now tell me, young lady, what do you know of the Ascians?
Go.
Much and more, I shouldn't wonder. Being the bringer of light. You should know that I myself have met with them. Have entertained them as guests, even.
Oh? That's a bombshell.
Those harbingers of chaos and strife offered us power that we might continue our war against the dragons. I have no intention of aiding their cause, of course, nor less of being their puppet.
Do you know what their cause is? Because as far as I know, Ascians just show up to people and are like, hey, you want to learn how to summon a god? And then they teach people that power, and then people use it, and then they go on their way and they laugh. That we don't know their motive. So if they're teaching you how to summon and you do the summon, you're playing into their hands. Because you don't know what they want. God damn it, old man.
Yet, were I to refuse them outright, I should learn naught of their true objectives and remain powerless to stop them.
Have you learned objectives? Oh, La Habrea. Back at it again.
Thus have I hearkened to their words with interest and paid lip service to their beliefs, biding my time and preparing for the inevitable conflict.
I'm so... I don't understand.
And why do I tell you this? Because there is naught in this world they fear more and the power of the warrior of light.
He is the Pope. For what it's worth, he is the Pope.
If we are to rid ourselves of these vile interlopers, we must needs work together. With our combined strength, I have faith that we can wrest Eorzea from their grasp and pave the way for a lasting peace. Think on it.
I am, and I'm down with this, but you have not really told me anything. Because you don't seem to know anything. He's like, yeah, I got a plan. I'm not gonna do what they say. I'm like, okay. I'm gonna use them. How? It's so fucking confusing. I can't wait to tell everybody what a weird fucking conversation I had with the Pope. And how he talks to Asians and has them over for dinner parties. And thinks he has the upper hand. Woofa duffa. I nearly cried when you stepped forward in the tribunal, Akali. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh yeah, you guys are back. I saw them here and didn't think anything of it.
There you are. I confess, I was more than a little concerned when I learned that you had been summoned to the vault. What did they want with you? Well, well. A formal apology and an admonishment of those responsible. I see my fears were wholly misplaced. By the gods! The Archbishop freely admits to consorting with Asians. So, their ambitions extend to Ishgard as well. We will have new primals to contend with ere long, of that you may be certain. 'Tis but a matter of time. Yet shorn of the support of our missing allies, what can we realistically hope to achieve?
In the midst of all the excitement, I completely forgot to tell you. When I was asking around about the Scions, I heard the most awful rumor. General Rauburn is to be executed for crimes against the Sultanate!
If the Flame General dies, we will lose a staunch ally, and the one man capable of holding the Sultana's assassins to account.
GG Rip.
Lord Orchiffon was wise to counsel restraint, but this business will brook no delay. We cannot permit this execution to take place. We must save Rauburn.
Gods, I hope we're not too late to save General Rauburn. I should have told you sooner about the execution, I mean, but what with the trial and everything? Elfina wishes to share his plan of action for rescuing Rauburn. Though the situation calls for an emergency, it would avail us little to charge headlong into Ul'dah without a plan. Before we can formulate a plan, however, we must first learn how things stand in the Sultanate, which is why I propose we visit Limsa Lominsa. Ah, you heard me right. While you were about your altruistic endeavors, I acted as an intermediary in trade negotiations between House Fortomps and a Lominsian consortium. During said negotiations, an opportunity to send word to the Admiral presented itself, and I duly seized it. I'm happy to report that we have yet a stout ally in Limsa. The Admiral has pledged her full cooperation in any effort to rescue Rauburn. Accordingly, I have agreed to meet with her, and we might discuss how best to proceed. Naturally, I told her to expect us both. Your presence never fails to embolden our allies, after all. When you arrive in Limsa Lominsa, make yourself known to Sergeant Xanthel at Bulwark Hall on the lower docks. He will admit you to the bridge. The Admiral has been expecting you. Say the word and I will take you to her.
Friends, 'tis good to see you safe and well. I will admit I had not counted on you seeking, let alone finding refuge within the Holy See, but full glad was I to learn that you had.
Thankfully, we had allies there who took us under their wing. And theirs was not the only aid we receive, I suspect. When we fled Uldar, we fully expected to become wanted men, known to all and hounded at every turn. Yet that did not come to pass. On the contrary, 'twould seem the charges against us have not been made public. Might we have you to thank for that, Admiral?
Merwolf? Yeah.
Sharp as ever, Master Alphino. On Marshal Terrapin's urging, the Elder Seed Seer and I demanded that the Syndicate suppress news of the Scion's alleged crimes until such time as irrefutable evidence could be found. Our argument was simple. Lacking proof, to accuse the saviors of the realm of so unlikely a crime would have the people up in arms. In their wisdom, the Syndicate agreed, as you yourself have seen. There is something you should know. Some few days prior to the banquet, the Elder Seedseer and I were summoned for a private audience with the Sultana. There, she revealed her intent to announce her abdication, that she might pave the way for the establishment of an Uldan Republic.
What? But such an announcement would have plunged the entire nation into chaos.
She was well aware of that. 'Twas for fear of what might ensue that she summoned us. Her Grace wanted the Elder Seedseer and I to lend Rauban a helping hand, you see? To aid him in preserving the peace during the transition.
So, having somehow caught wind of her plan, Lolorito and Teleji plotted the Sultana's assassination in the hope of maintaining the constitutional status quo.
That doesn't make any sense. Because if she stepped down, or if she killed, the result is the same. There's no more Sultanate.
But they must have known that her death would sow as much chaos as her abdication. Chaos from which Teleji alone might feasibly stand to profit. Surely Lolorito would never knowingly... Ah, could it be? I dare not hope.
The Uldan authorities have yet to announce the Sultana's passing. To allay any suspicion that may arise from Her Grace's absence, they have issued a statement to the effect that she is presently convalescing from illness.
Well, they're hiding it to stop the chaos. So
Mayhap they're waiting for a fitting moment to break the news. Or mayhap they know of some other reason to delay.
Something else has been bothering me, Admiral. I was dismayed to learn that General Rauban is to be executed. Yet upon hearing the news, I could not help but wonder why he had been kept alive for so long. Pray mistake not my meaning. I am, of course, overjoyed that our friend still draws breath, and that he might yet be saved. But if his enemies truly wished to eliminate him, they could have done so immediately. I see no reason for this delay.
Aye, you've struck upon an important point, Master Alphino. Following his capture, Rauban had been held in the Marasaja pit within Uldar. In recent days, however, he has reportedly been moved to an unknown location. Queerly, 'twas not the Brass Blades who spirited him away either, but a band of soldiers decked in blue.
The Crystal Braves.
Aye. If I read the winds aright, the arrangement between Lord Lolorito and the Braves has come under strain. At any rate, if we're to rescue Rauban, we'll have to find him first. And you'll be glad to hear that I have already entrusted the task to those best able to see it done. Our friends of Doma.
Robon's survival is vital to the Eorzean Alliance. We can ill afford to lose him, but I cannot send troops into Ul'dah. 'Twould spell the end of the Alliance, and war, like as not. If there is to be a rescue, it falls upon you and yours to attempt it. I would not have it any other way, Admiral. It was I who founded the Crystal Braves, and I who must take responsibility for their actions. Spoken like a true leader, Master Elfino. By way of first step, you should seek out the Doman contact. You will find her among the frontier hands at Reverend's Toll, working in a kitchen. The Crystal Braves may no longer answer to me, but that does not absolve me of responsibility. As commander, I am accountable for all the wrongs they have committed and all the havoc they have wreaked. Would that we could join you in rescuing the Flame General, but the Sultanate would not kindly take to foreign power on their soils, allies or no. Though it's useless to dwell on the past, I often wonder if I could have and should have done more for you and Robon that day. Leaving the banquet was tantamount to leaving you and yours for dead. Should you think me a craven, I wouldn't hold it against you. But I will make it up to you, this I swear. Come what may, know that the Scions of the Seventh Dawn can count on your cooperation. Man, I sometimes think about that too. If her and Kane had stayed and done something. But man, I don't know what they could have done. Or what would have happened if they had done something. That might have ended very badly. In actual wars and stuff. Can't have foreign power leaders drawing guns and whatnot. Oh, I can fly. Here. Mr. Sakali, I knew in my heart that you were safe, but to see you again in the flesh, words cannot well express my relief. Even as the victory feast was taking place, the Crystal Braves turned upon us and took the Rising Stones by force. Amid the chaos, some few of my compatriots and I were able to slip away unnoticed. Since then, we have remained in Reverend's Toll, keeping watch over the mutineers while awaiting your return. You have done well by us, and we Domans do not soon forget our debts. We swear to do all within our power to aid you. Higiri is eager to assist you. Shortly before you arrived, I received word from Limsa Lominsa that you were searching for General Roban. As the Admiral will have informed you, he was recently moved from his cell in the Mahasarja pit. At the same juncture, Yuyuhase and the 3rd Unit were observed leaving the Rising Stones. This can be no simple coincidence. Their purpose, we believe, is to escort the Flame General to the scene of his execution. Suffice to say, we have people shadowing the 3rd. If you would join the hunt, pray seek out Doware at Highbridge, where I too am bound. What you making? Finish it. I want to see. Alright, I have things to do. We'll get back to our own side quests in a bit. I have a very cute, little cooking outfit now. Ta-da! Well, that would have been better without a dragon in my face, but such is life. I feel like I did. Just a T-Rex floating in the sky. That mountain is so absurdly big. Oh, hello everyone. Yuyuhase. The mere mention of the name calls to mind the moment I felt the kiss of cold steel against my neck. It's been a while since I last wore this garb. Since I came to Reverend's Toll, my days have been spent in kitchens. Fear not, however, though I have learned to wield a skillet, I have not forgotten the use of a dagger. I have been expecting you. Time is of the essence, so I shall be direct. Yuyuhase and his men are bound for Halatali. We believe this is where they intend to carry out the execution. Hosen is presently keeping watch over the entrance. Let us make haste and join him. Roban's ties to Halatali are well known. That Ilbert should choose this of all places to stage his execution is no coincidence. The fiend. Are there no depths to which he will not stoop? You've come at a good time, my friends, but moments ago the traitor Ilbert arrived and entered Halatali. From this we may be certain that General Roban is being held within. I do believe, if I remember correctly, well, and this part I do know, General Roban was once a gladiator. He was technically a slave, I think, and he won 1,000 matches, I think, most of them in Halatali. So that's where he was like caged and spent every day fighting. And when he won 1,000 matches, he got to buy his, or the Sultana freed him, Nanamo, and then he used all his money from winning and bought the entire Colosseum. So to execute him in the place that he finally won his freedom from is in fact incredibly fucked up. Hosen would brief you on the mission to rescue Roban. There is no time to lose. General Alden may be executed at any moment. You must enter Halatali and free him from his captors. Please see to your preparations and tell me when you are ready to proceed. One of our own will accompany you inside. There she is.
Pray, forgive me my lateness.
Lady Ugiri!
Master Alphino, I am pleased to see that the light of resolve shines in your eyes once more.
Ah, yes. How pathetic I must have seemed to you when we last met. I am ashamed to record it. For a time I was well and truly lost. But with the aid of my comrades, I have since refound my purpose, and I shall take care not to misplace it again.
Since your escape from Ulda, my fellow shinobi and I have shadowed the Crystal Braves every step, in hopes of learning the Scion's whereabouts. Regrettably, our investigation has yet to yield any useful information. Pray, forgive us.
You need not apologize, my lady. We are grateful for all that you have done on our behalf. Besides, Ralban is no less a friend, and we cannot well abandon him to his fate.
Hosen, the three of us shall attend to the Flame General's rescue. Pray, draw away the guards by the entrance. Take Dowade and Higiri with you. With me!
I love fighting with NPCs. Nothing now. Hey, Gary.
away with you!
No, we have to do it solo. So when you're in a party, it's probably the more frustrating, it's one of the mildly frustrating things. So if Q and I are doing the story together, we have to break party every time a duty happens, and then like rejoin later. Once we finished it. Yeah, it's a little bit of a bummer. Because they can tweak the difficulty on them. But I don't know how the servers... I know Final Fantasy XIV has some touchy servers, so this is probably not something they'll ever change. Alphino, did you get stuck? He like glitched through the fence. Raban. He is bound by some manner of magitech device, yet I dare not force it open. It may well be booby-trapped. I have heard of such devices. The Crystal Braves will possess the key. Let us split up and look for it. That will not be necessary. Pray do not take it personally, my friends. You are the victims of harsh economic conditions. Happily, you will not suffer for long. This poison will convey you swiftly onto the Bossen of Thal, where I hope to join you after the passing of many prosperous years. Okay, so we stopped the poison. We have to find the key. Stunned? How dare you? Robon's health is going up, so I just... Yukuri's just smashing potions on his head. Live, damn you! Alright, let's get the hell out of here. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Oopsies. That was the whole point of dropping down. Get there fast. Why are you still injured? The Epic of Alexander? We'll do that eventually. That's after Heaven's Word. My thanks. Oh yeah, you have to so when you raid, you have to turn, like when you do high-end raid, you have to turn off special effects. Oh, are you talking about the Epic of Alexander? Oh, that's the ultimate raid. I have not done that. Just kidding. I really want to, I just simply do not have the time. And I think I missed one of my only opportunities. Slowly, General. You are weak from your ordeal. Nevertheless, we must quit this place. I should have known. What are clever contrivances to the Warrior of Light? Well done, hero. Yeah. Well, what they do is they do these fights called ultimates, which is they take an encounter that the Warrior Light has done, and they like make it crazy advanced. Because there's this character in the Final Fantasy games called the Wandering Minstrel, and you tell him of these things that you've done, and then he's like, oh, and then he re-envisions it. So when you do extreme fights, that's the Wandering Minstrel's recreation of your fight, and it's always much more grand than the original thing was. So the ultimates are an even grander, more fantastical version of the fight that you have done. So I believe that's what the Epic of Alexander is. Ilbert. You mean to struggle on, then? Very well. If you would stand in my way, I will cut you down like all the rest. Come, scions, let's get this over with. Laurentis. Okay, I guess we're gonna... What are you beefing for? Where's your Yuhase? That's a little bastard I want to destroy. There he is.
I have you now.
It is nothing.
I'm not finished yet.
My favorite boss fight. I can't seem the name of it because it's a huge spoiler. But it's the last fight of Shadowbringers. The extreme version of it is very good.
This changes nothing.
Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
It is over, Ilberd. Lay down your arms and surrender yourself to justice.
Fuck Laurentis, really, though. We gave that man a second chance at life, and he used it to fuck us.
Justice? Justice for what exactly? 'Twas not I who assassinated the Sultana, boy.
Ere we debate who is responsible for the assassination, I would ask whether an assassination took place at all.
Oh, clever little shite. If you think you fight for justice, lass, you best wake up. The truth is, you fight for whoever bloody well tells you to. Can you not see you're being used? By the Scions, the City-States, even the Crystal Braves. They none of them care a whit what you want. Only what you can do for them.
He's right, and he should say it.
And how do I know this? Because I'm the same. A pawn to be used as my masters see fit. All I ever wanted was to liberate my homeland. And I ate dirt to make it happen. But what have I achieved after all these years in servitude? Nothing. Not a bloody thing. If we ourselves are not free, free to think and to act, how are we ever to reclaim our homeland? Know this. There is nothing I would not give to take back Alamigo. Nothing!
You'll not get away!
No, Master Alphino. Now is not the time.
I'm but a cripple and a fool. And still you came for me. I'm in your debt.
We are all of us fools of fate, General. But even fools have a part to play.
On your feet, gladiator. This fight is not over.
Rest assured, I was not planning to die till I'd avenged the Sultana. Still, your words are welcome, lass. Know this, Ilberd. There is nothing I would not give to see you pay for what you've done. My wealth, my arm, my life. Nothing.
General, are you aware that Lord Lolorito has yet to announce the Sultana's death to the public?
What? No. No, I was not aware of that, nor of anything else outside my cell. 'Tis passing strange, though.
I assumed the bastard would make it known at the first opportunity, and set about tearing down the Sultanate.
As did we all. And it is indeed strange that he did not. Strange, or perhaps revealing. Now, I have no conclusive proof, nor do I wish to give you false hope, but I have reason to believe that Her Grace may yet live.
What? But how can that be?
Forgive me, friends, but it is not safe here. Let us continue this conversation without.
The general is safe. What news without? My lady, the guards have been subdued as per your command. We have since kept watch over the entrance. There has been no further activity. Then Ilbert and his minions fled some other egress. Scour the perimeter for signs of their passing. At once, my lady. General Alden, I presume, and the Scions of the Seventh Dawn? Who are you? Identify yourself. Pray do not be alarmed. My mistress is a friend, and I come bearing a message of goodwill. For your own safety, she bade me direct your steps to the Waking Sands. Know that Master Urianger awaits you there, along with others sympathetic to your cause. This is no ruse, I assure you. General Alden, if you come with me, I have prepared a carriage that you may travel in comfort, safe from prying eyes. Okay, I trust you. Apparently. That seems ill-advised. I've spoken with Urianger via Link Pearl. He confirms this man's story. Raban is in safe hands. Let us make our own way to Vesper Bay. I want to ride in the carriage. I don't want to pay $300 to get to the Waking Sands. This is an outrage. Why didn't I get to ride in the carriage? Haven't been here in a hot minute, I'll admit it.
My dearest friends, praise be unto the 12 for delivering you from the clutches of treachery.
I guess this is the voice he has now. I can never tell with Urianger because it's so different from the original voice in ARR.
Father!
Pippin!
Pippin! My son! And Master Papashan besides!
Forgive me, Father. I should have been at Her Grace's side.
Save your tears. The Sultana yet lives.
You.
It was I who arranged this gathering. And judging by your perplexed expressions, it would seem introductions are in order. I am Dulala, head of the Order of Noldthor, and member of the Syndicate.
What you said about the Sultana, is it true? Is she alive?
Young lady, I understand you were with the Sultana when she drank from the poisoned goblet and collapsed. Would I be correct in assuming that you did not personally verify Her Grace's vital signs?
Oh yeah, I had all the time in the world to do that. For sure.
Why ask when 'tis plain you know the answer?
Calm yourself, General, and let me finish. The truth is not as you imagine it. You are all victims of a most ingenious ruse. A ruse conceived to eliminate the threat posed by Teleji Adeleji. 'Tis my belief that Teleji plotted the Sultana's assassination alone, but that Lolorito caught wind of his plot and exploited it to his own ends. He sought to manipulate you into eliminating Teleji for him, and you duly obliged. At one fell swoop, he removed his two foremost rivals, all the while remaining above suspicion.
God strike me down for a fool. But the Sultana, how can it be that she lives?
She lives because Lolorito willed it. Her own lady-in-waiting is but one of his many little birds. By her sleight of hand, the poison was switched for a less deadly draught before it could reach her mistress's lips.
Some manner of sedative, perchance? Of a potency sufficient to induce a slumber like unto death.
Were I to guess, I would say her grace is being held somewhere, dreaming dreams of a brighter Uldar, even as we speak.
Oh, Nanamo. I will never forgive Lolorito for his part in this.
Though Lolorito's hands are far from clean, they did pluck her grace from the jaws of death. That must count for something. And though one may call the man's methods into question, it cannot be denied that he knows the value of stability, to the very gill, like as not. He craves power, 'tis true, but he has no desire to depose the Sultana. I had never taken sides in your feud with the monetarists, but it was not for want of concern for our nation's welfare.
Oh no!
Indeed, 'twas out of the desire to see order restored that I furnished your Far Eastern friends with information and arranged this gathering. I hope you are ready to work, General, for there is much work to be done. Our first priority must be to bring matters back into balance. Lest you forget Her Grace's words, the true wealth of Uldar lies in the health, happiness, and hopes of her people. As for the more worldly kind of wealth, I am content to let Lolorito help himself to whatever Teleji Adeleji left behind. You, meanwhile, must do that which you alone can do. Rescue Her Grace and take your place at her side once more, for her sake and that of our nation.
This man needs a shower. Can he at least do that first? Can we let this man clean up? Get him some, like, actual help for his missing arm? I had not counted on Prioress Dulala herself appearing. In my defense, my suspicions regarding the Sultana proved more precedent. Much remains to be done, but in rescuing Roban, we have taken a vital first step towards resolving matters in Ulda. We couldn't have done it without you, Akali. Thank you. I do not think this is better than what I currently have. It is not. Alphino is distracted by a call on his link pearl. Tataru? Yes, General Roban is now in safe hands. What? Another assault? Very well, we shall return at once. Pray notify the Count of our coming. It would seem we face another crisis. The Dravanians are preparing to resume their siege on the Holy See. Though I am loath to abandon the Sultana to her fate, we lack the necessary evidence to act upon Dulala's claims. That being the case, I propose we leave Marshal Turapan and the others to investigate and return with all haste to Ishgard. Yo, not for nothing, Elfano. What quest number is this? Oh, it's only 51. Well, I'm gonna go do, I understand, Ishgard's in trouble. No one is more aware of this than I am. But first... Rayosena has a task of great import for you. Akali, you could not have come at a better time. We have dire need of your aid. There isn't time to explain, but know that trouble is afoot, and I would ask you to meet me at the Guardian Tree. Oh no, not there. Ugh, I know where the Guardian Tree is. I should be getting close to having very important white mage spells that will make my life a lot easier. Oh, our run is here too. What about Tummy afoot? Thank you for coming on such notice. We knew not who else we might turn to. How fares the Great One? Unchanged from before, I'm afraid. He repeats the same words over and over. Then it falls to us to glean their meaning. Very well. Akali, you will recall the time we performed the quieting and quelled the Great One's rage. Since that day, we have continued communing with him to ensure that all is well, and it was, until recently. I'm afraid to say that an unsettling change came over the Great One some days ago. He has taken to repeating the same words to us. The taint floodeth the forest. It is beating heart to befoul. After some inquiries and research, we were able to learn that the Great One had spoken these words before, during the time of Atoa Kant. Immediately, we were made to wonder, when Master Atoa embarked upon his journey of healing, could his purpose have been to protect the forest from the taint of the Great One now warns? We sought to delve further into this, but no accounts of Master Atoa's journey are to be found in Stillglade Fade. Such records as exist are in keeping of his foremost student, the mage who recovered his remains from Ogoromo. If he is still alive, he may be able to assist us. We have prepared a missive, and we would ask you to deliver it to his hands. After interrogating his beloved master, the man is said to have taken up residence at Fallguard Float, that he may ever be near to tend the tome. If he is there still, the locals shall be able to point you in his direction. When you see to this task, my brother and I shall remain here and continue observing the Great One. My thanks in advance, Akali. Fallguard Float. You seek Master Atoa's former student? I'm afraid he has departed from this realm yonder. His granddaughter now tends the tome at Proud Creek in his stead. If truth be told, I'm worried about her. The area is thick with fiends, and even experienced wood whalers avoid venturing there unaccompanied. Atoa Kant's old student. I heard that someone's tending the tomb, but it's a young maid, as I recall. That old fellow? I'm afraid he passed away some years ago. I remember him well, though. He took care of his master's tome to the very end. His granddaughter, Ashevia, now tends the place, and she's been especially attentive since those accursed bandits came and defiled it. Oh, beans. Oh, we're really in it now. Oh no. Thank you so much. So focused was I on tending the tome, I failed to notice the fiends approaching me. What? You're searching for the granddaughter of Master Itoa's former student? Then you need search no more. I am Ashevia. When you need, Okay. Know that I have taken on my grandfather's responsibilities. If it is within my power to help the Seed Seers, then I should be glad to do so. The taint threatens the Twelves Wood. Norfolk have mercy. As the Seed Seers have surmised, 'twas to purge the taint that Master Itoa journeyed the length and breadth of this realm. Simply put, the taint is aether that has been befouled. If we are to be rid of it, we must find the source of the corruption and cleanse it. The question is, are the Seed Seers prepared to do as Master Itoa once did? At any rate, it is best I speak with them directly. I shall make my way to the Guardian Tree at once. Doo-doo-doo. My thanks for finding Ashevia, Akali. She has told us all. If we are to protect the Twelveswood from the taint, we must needs deal with the corruption at its source. Is that the way of it? It is. That is why Master Itoa embarked upon his journey, heedless of his Pagi heritage. And yet Master Itoa was no ordinary Pagile. We are duty-bound to remain in the forest. We cannot simply leave it. Akali, I am loath to ask this of you, after all you have already done for us, but the preservation of the Twelveswood is at stake. You are not Pagile, and hence are not bound by the laws which bind us. Will you embark upon this quest in our stead? With all due respect, I cannot believe what I am hearing. You would entrust the fate of the forest to an adventurer? Calm yourself, and know that Akali is no ordinary adventurer. Nay, she is the White Mage True, chosen by Master Itoa himself to be his successor. She bears his soul crystal and his legacy both. I have every confidence that you will be able to purge the taint. As such, I would join my voice to my brother's request. Master Itoa's successor? That such an individual existed? I wish to make a request of my own. In his youth, my grandfather served Master Itoa proudly, accompanying him wheresoever he went and assisting in purification rituals. It has ever been my desire to emulate my grandfather's deeds. If Akali is to undertake this quest to eliminate the taint, I would likewise accompany and assist her. The journey will be fraught with peril. Are you willing to risk life and limbs solely for the sake of emulating your grandfather? I am, my lady, and that is not the whole of it. I cannot sit idly by while a threat encroaches upon the Twelveswood. It is our home, and each of us must do our part to protect it. Ooh! Thank you so much for following. Ooh, that scared the shit out of me. My own notifications are constantly bamboozling me. But thank you very much. Our part. I see that your heart is true. Very well. Assuming that Akali consents, and I see no reason why she would not, you have our blessing to accompany her. Hello! The fate of the Twelveswood is in your hands. We shall pray for your success. I hope you are doing well today and enjoying White Mage adventures. We shall need to make plans for the journey. Please come and see me at Fallguard Float. You guys have had me all traveling all over these dang woods. And they call themselves Padgels. You wonder at my irritation? I shouldn't doubt. I suppose I ought to explain. You see, I was brought up on the tales of Master Itoa's journeys, the sufferings he endured for the sake of the Twelveswood. Young though I was deeply touched by his courage and sacrifice, and to this day his deeds remain close to my heart. That is why it irks me that the Seed Seers will not lift a finger to help the forest. But thankfully we have you. As Master Itoa has chosen, you are far more dependable than any Padgel alive. Now then, let us speak of our journey. Grandfather left his records of Master Itoa's journeys in my keeping. I shall scour them for clues as to where we must go. While I do this, pray attend to your own preparations. I shall be here when you are ready to strike out. Oh, good news. I'm ready to strike out. Eshkevia has uncovered a clue for your quest to purge the taint. Oh, hell yeah. You come at a good time, Akali. I believe I have found a clue in my grandfather's records. There is a passage which tells of the time when the taint reached the forest via a subterranean water vein. Master Itoa traced it back to its source at Elbathia's spine, and there he purged the corruption. Lest you wonder, 'tis the mention of water vein that interests me. Allow me to explain. Though the danger to the Twelveswood has become so dire as to elicit empathetic warnings from the Great One, none of the Padgels or hearers were aware of it. If we then consider the Great One's warning, then the taint shall flood the forest. I am inclined to conclude that the befouled aether is being conveyed via water veins. Years have passed since Master Itoa purged the taint. A new source of corruption may well have manifested in the intervening time. First, I suggest we take our investigation to the central highlands of Kurthus, which from the southern edge of Elbathia's spine. Pray meet me at Camp Dragonhead. No, it can be difficult later on. So this game does one thing really good and one thing kind of badly. As you progress through the story, dungeons and mechanics become harder, but you are taught them as you go through. So long as you don't like skip ahead and like do a level jump, if you play through the thing and do the dungeons, you will learn how dungeons and everything works, and it does a very good job of introducing mechanics to you before it mixes it with other mechanics. So it's very simple, and I think anyone can do it. What it doesn't do super well is tell you how to play your class. Thankfully, there's lots of guides on Google to tell you how things should work and when's the best time to use your abilities. There really is only one way to play your class. You can't just sort of mix it up and do it as you like. And it doesn't do a very good job of explaining that to you. I'm playing White Mage, and that's very simple. So for like Dragoon, this is my first combo. My very first button, which activates this button, which puts a buff on me, then I put a dot on the enemy, and then I do this button, then this button, then this button, until my buff and my dot wear out. And then you mix your jumps in between the moves that you're doing. So you have OCGDs and GCDs. That can be a little convoluted, and if you've never played an MMO before, that stuff all sort of gets lost. And I wish they'd do a better job of explaining those sorts of things. But as far as just going through the game as it is and playing the base story, I believe it's very it's very kind in showing you and bringing you up to the harder content. There's no reason why, if you play through everything from 1 to 80, that you can't do every dungeon available to you. No. They have made it very easy to sort of go at your own pace. If you're just doing the main story, you'll level up as you need to. You don't have to do anything extra whatsoever. You just play through because I think the most important thing to remember about Final Fantasy XIV is that it will always be a Final Fantasy game before it is an MMO game. So you play through the story at your own pace and you will still hit the level cap that you need to. No problem. No extra hours necessary. No more than a Final Fantasy game requires. Where am I going? Oh, Camp Dragonhead. The community also isn't too bad. There's lots of people that are willing to explain sort of things to you. There's always going to be bad. This is Foundation. God dang it. There's always going to be kind of bad apples in every bunch, but people are generally pretty nice and don't mind explaining how things work. Why are there so many people in Curthus? What are you all doing? Oh, is it? Oh, it's Darksteel time. Darksteel pops in about 10 seconds. That's why everybody's here. Hello, Sir Snails. I think this is a good one to get into. Also, I'm about to do the meme plug, but Final Fantasy is free up to level 60, including the Heavensward expansion. It's the critically acclaimed MMO, so you don't have to pay. It's unlimited time that you have until you reach that level, and until you reach the end of Heavensward. So, you're not gonna... If you find out by the time you... as you're playing it that it's really not for you, it's no money wasted because it's a free trial, and you get a lot out of this free trial. I know, that's the big Final Fantasy meme, critically acclaimed, but it's like, it's legitimately a good deal that you can play the entire main story and all of Heavensward, the very first expansion, completely free, unlimited hours on it. So if you find out it's not for you, no harm done. Everything is frozen over. I had read about the snow-swept mountains of Curthus, but no amount of reading can substitute for seeing. I have a confession to make. This is my very first time setting foot outside the Twelveswood. The experience is proving to be at once fascinating and frightening, but I digress. While I awaited your arrival, I spoke with some of the knights about water veins. They said that one passes beneath the area just south of here. The area happens to be thick with fiends, and these fiends happen to have grown unnaturally aggressive as of late. I would wager that the Taint is to blame for this change. A short while ago, a band of knights departed for the area in question on a mission to cull the unruly creatures. Shall we go and join them? Who's crafting behind me? Oh, you're desynthesizing. You're so loud in my ears. My suspicions were correct. The Taint has driven the fiends into a frenzy. Let us aid the knights and see to the cleansing. Okie/dokie. Uh-oh. Why are you dying? Oh god, she's got that voice. Whoa! Whoa! Well, that wasn't called for. I'm sure it's a big game over if she beefs it. I don't know about that video game. Oh no! I lost track of her. I was so busy trying to just do damages. Oh. I'm out of MP. Whoa! She almost died. That would have been embarrassing. There it is, Akali, the taint. I trust you know what to do. Oh, you believe me. I know what to do with taint. Cleanse that shit. Anything for you boys? This energy, soothing and pure, 'tis precisely as my grandfather wrote. And your soul crystal, I believe it has taken on a new radiance. In all likelihood, the spirit of Master Itoa within has bestowed upon you a greater power. I wonder, could it be that the act of purifying serves to empower the White Mage? If this is true, that makes Padja's refusal to leave the forest even more incomprehensible. How long will they allow their laws to dictate their actions to the detriment of reason? At any rate, there is not more to be done here. Let us return to Camp Dragon Head. Oh man, I think this is sort of like the start of... There's a bunch of quests where like your trainer is constantly moving around. So when I was on my main and I was leveling everything, I could not for the life of me keep track of where my red mage trainer was at any point in time, because he didn't even have the decency to be like in one of the main cities, but he was often like Morbray Docks, and I'm like, I could never find him, and I would have to Google it. I'd be like, please tell me where the red mage trainer is, because I don't remember. Always lost. Let us review what we have learned. As we had suspected, the taint is being borne along subterranean water veins. According to my grandfather's records, the headwater of the vein we just visited is situated further to the west. Unfortunately, it lies beyond the holy see of Ishgard. As foreigners, we will require special permission to pass through the city. I shall contact Stilglade Fane and request to have the Elder Seedseer issue us with the necessary papers. Oh, you don't even have to worry about that. I'm good. Of course, were one of the Seedseers here, we would not have to go through all this hassle. I shall survey the lay of the land in order to ascertain our next destination. Meanwhile, I suggest you take the time to accustom yourself to your newfound power. I shall be here when you are ready to resume our mission. Oops. Lilies. Most excellent. I need to move all this stuff around. Alright. I have come to terms with my... The healing gauge displays the current number of lilies a white mage has accumulated. Lilies are accumulated as time passes while engaged in combat. Lilies are consumed by using the actions Afflatus Solstice and Afflatus Rapture, acquired at level 76. You can view the job gauge description at any time in the actions and trade menu. So when I do combat, there's a little bar and it flows, and when it reaches the top, a lily blooms. And I can have up to 3 lilies, and it's very good. It's instant heals, baby. Asheva is ready to resume the mission to purge the taint. I'm terribly sorry for the wait, Akali. I know it makes me like 5 years old, but every time we say taint, I'm like... It has taken a while, but our request to pass through Ishgard has been granted. We may now continue on to the Western Highlands. First, I suggest we make a brief stop in Falcon's Nest. If there has been an anomaly in the area, the locals may be able to tell us something. Alright, I'm gonna let you do that. Oh, I know what that is. I will let you do that. Oops. I'm gonna lock my bars so that doesn't happen. I'm gonna go help Foundation, because they did call me and asked for help, and I've been putzing around in the forest. Last vigil, I assume? What is the House Dunadary Knight doing out here? Let us hear what the Count has to say. Ah, there you are. Sorry for cutting your reunion with General Roban short. I wouldn't have bothered you, but the city's awash with rumors of another Dravanian attack, and Lord Orchifant was desperate to get a hold of you. Speaking of whom, he and the others are waiting for you inside. You'd better head in. My friend, I thank you for answering our call with such alacrity. As I am sure you are now aware, the Dravanians are once more gathering for war. Mistress Yana and Master Levier, I must apologize for this abrupt summons, but we thought it best to have Mistress Tataru contact you by most direct means available. When the Observatorium's bells toll, it is a warning that cannot be ignored. The Holy See has ordered that we make ready for battle. In case you haven't heard, a band of trappers returning from the west claim they saw a cloud of dragons big enough to dim the midday sky. Nidhogg's Benions gather once more for war. But I would not have you take up arms in another of our conflicts. When first you came to Ishgard, I offered you my protection. If I cannot ensure your safety here, I cannot well accept your aid, much less ask for it. Scions of the Seventh Dawn, you are faced with a choice: to remain in besieged Ishgard or seek sanctuary elsewhere. I would not presume to influence your decision, but I ask that you make it swiftly, lest our enemies force your hand. The coming of the Horde spells ruin for Ishgard, but her knights shall fight to the last to shield her citizens from harm. The observatory bells have tolled. Either flee this place or make ready for war. And how many dragons would it take to darken a midday sky, do you think? 1,000? More? Too many at any rate. I confess, I do not know where else you might seek sanctuary, but few places are like to be more perilous than a city under siege. What will become of this place? And us? Though we flee to the ends of the world, 'twould seem no place in this troubled age is free of strife. Once more the Horde descends upon Ishgard, and once more her wary defenders must take up spear and bow. The Count would have us seek shelter from the storm, but I, for one, grow tired of running. If we are to shine the light of dawn, we must do so in sight of our fellow man, not hunkered in a hole. What say you, Acully? I would stay and fight. Oh no, I hit the wrong button! God damn it! That is your answer! By the 12, how could you? But wait, mayhap remaining in the city would not best serve our friends and allies. Mayhap there is another choice. I didn't mean it. Well. Alphino is still deliberating how best to proceed. The choice we make this day may have grave implications for our order. It is only right that Tataru should have a say. Come, let us all meet outside and discuss the path that lies before us. Whoopsie doopsies. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. I hit the wrong button. Oh, still.
Ishgard cannot well endure another assault. Even should her knights succeed in turning back the Horde, the casualties will be catastrophic.
But what other choice do we have? It's not like we can talk it over with them. Dragons and men aren't exactly on speaking terms.
With certain notable exceptions.
You don't mean Iceheart?
When last you spoke with her, she lamented her crimes, did she not? Then there remains a sliver of hope. If we can persuade Iceheart to act as our intermediary, we may yet be able to convince Nidhogg to abandon his bloody course.
If there is to be a meeting, I would accompany you.
Estinian.
Estinian.
Even with your intermediary, Nidhogg's blood rage may render him deaf to reason. However, the mere attempt may afford our forces precious time to prepare. Of course, you might also consider a more direct approach to ending this conflict. With the power of the Eye at my disposal, and the vaunted strength of the Warrior of Light, we could conceivably slay the beast outright.
If we are to risk a face-to-face meeting with the Dread Worm, I for one would feel safer in the company of the Azure Dragoon. However, I should only turn to your lance if my words failed to find their mark. Is that clear?
Perfectly. I shall assume that Iceheart enjoys similar diplomatic protection until instructed otherwise.
I was like, no one's gonna like. We just got I just cleared everybody of heresy, and we're about to go commit some heresy anyway. And Estinian's like, hell yeah, count me in.
A word of advice. Think carefully before divulging the particulars of this plan to Sir Emmerich. 'Twould not do to have the Lord Commander accused of consorting with heretics.
Duly noted.
Indeed. I thank you for your counsel, Estinian. We shall be honored to have you with us.
I am glad to be of service.
I wonder if there's double jeopardy in Ishgard. I've cleared everyone of heresy, which means now that we've been cleared of heresy, we can commit as much heresy as we want. I don't quite think that's how double jeopardy works. I don't know. I play a lawyer game, but that's the extent of my knowledge. We have chosen a difficult road, yet should we succeed in winning Iceheart to our cause, our plans for parley will swiftly come to naught should the Holy See decide to strike first against the Horde. We must petition the Lord Commander's aid ere we set forth. I only hope that Sir Emmerich will be willing to muzzle Ishgard's forces on the strength of our vague assurances. Tataru, I would ask you remain at Fort Tom's Manor and inform the Count of our decision. Tell him that the signs of the Seventh Dawn mean to do all in their power to ensure that Ishgard and her people survive. Yes, sir! Where am I going? I'm gonna go talk to Emmerich. Why am I always lost? There we go. I was like, I'm like, that's the bar. Where's... You would speak with the Lord Commander? Pray make it quick.
I want the defenses of the outer ward rechecked. See to it that the ballistas are in good repair and supplied with enough ammunition for a prolonged siege.
Hello, hello.
At once, my lord.
Ah, 'twould seem I have visitors. And unlike those massing beyond our walls, these ones are welcome.
Aw, Emmerich.
Pray forgive us for interrupting you in the midst of your preparations, Sir Emmerich, but our suit concerns the impending assault. To speak plain, we believe there is a chance the invasion might be halted before it even begins.
I am good. How are you?
I can divulge a little more at this time, but I must nevertheless request that you advise the Holy See to refrain from launching any preemptive sorties whilst we seek to put our plans in motion.
I will gladly lend my support to any endeavor that could spare the blood of my countrymen, but I would know more of the cause you would have me champion. Will you not share aught of this mysterious undertaking?
He just wants to be involved.
Know that I have offered my lance to aid in this endeavor. I cannot claim that its success is assured, but our actions should serve to delay Nidhogg's advance at the very least. Which is more than can be said for the ill-conceived counterattack advocated by the sea's more vocal crusaders. They offer glorious death, but little hope of victory.
Yeah, a lot of the servers are all kind of full. I would say data center, so you'll, it kind of depends on what you're looking for as far as data center goes, so Aether, Primal, Crystal, or depending on where you are, you might have, I think Chaos is like a Japanese one. I only know about the NA servers, and I know that if you are looking for a raiding experience, if you intend to do high-end content, you're going to want to be on Aether. If you're looking for sort of, there's a lot of RP, and like events and costume, like glamour contests and stuff. A lot of that is done on Crystal. All of these, like, you can raid on Crystal, you can raid on Primal, you can raid on Aether, but some of them are more notorious for being those kinds of servers. So Aether has a lot more of the serious raiders. Crystal has a lot more of like the fun RP times, and then Primal is kind of a mix of them both. Oh yeah. So what you join on any of those, so once you pick Aether, Primal, Crystal, the rest doesn't really matter unless you have friends on that server. So like, you want to be where your friends are. But yeah, Oceania Data Center coming in 6.0. Very, very exciting. I hope Brazil gets its own data center too. I know a lot of people were hoping for that. South America could use a little bit of love and attention. So hopefully they make one for them too.
Aye, their proposal does not inspire confidence. Our resources should rightly be spent shoring up the city's defenses. The Azure Dragoon and the Warrior of Light sallying forth together to face the dread worm Nidhogg. I must admit, the mere thought of it does much to dispel my misgivings. Go then. Carry out your plan. I shall do what I can for you within the Holy See.
I have a very good friend who actually has done some of my icons. For stream. This one in particular, that is from Australia, and I know that her lag is leaves very little to be desired sometimes. She's on NA. I know she has a hard time. I think she's excited about the Oceania server. I will say this for your plan. It has made keeping secrets from the Holy See seem almost entertaining. Having secured Sir Emmerich's support, we may proceed without fear of preemptive Ishgardian attack, which is not to say we can afford to dither. History tells us that the Dervanians will attack as soon as their horde reaches a critical size. Before that happens, we must needs track down and win over Lady Iceheart, and then locate and parley with Nidhogg. In short, time is against us. If you are ready, Estinian, let us be about our task. Oh yeah, I can only imagine. She plays monk, so I know life was a little hard. It still might be hard.
Such commotion.
Such locomotion.
Yes, Your Eminence. The bells of the Observatorium warn of our enemy's approach.
So, the dragons are coming. Let them come, in their hundreds and their thousands. With the divine blade in our hands, we shall rend their flesh and drown the heretics in their master's blood. Even Nidhogg and his foul brood shall be powerless to resist us. And when we have rid the world of their pestilence, we shall turn our attention to our Ascian allies. See that they are suitably rewarded for their invaluable assistance.
If I may, Your Eminence, the Paragons wield powers strange and unknowable. Can we be certain that they will not see through our deception?
Man, we're talking in a hallway and they can turn invisible. Surely they'll never know what we're up against.
We can be certain of naught save the righteousness of our cause. If you would be a true leader of men, you must possess conviction as well as caution. We seek to excise the root of an evil that has blighted us for 1,000 years. The risk is worth the reward.
And what of Estinian and this Warrior of Light? They have plans of their own.
Leave them to their purpose. We must each play the role we have been given. You and your chosen brothers most of all.
For the glory of King Thordan.
Oofa doofa, I say. What time is it? Oh, we have a whole hour left. A little Alphino. Alphino would see to one final matter before setting forth. Before we set forth, we must needs inform Tataru of our plans. Then I shall await you at St. Renette's Forum. Tell your friend we may be some time. The road you have chosen is neither short nor easy. Of that I need no reminding. Come, Akali, let us head back to the Four Toms Manor. I'm excited for Reaper. I'm going to use my early access and get that all leveled up so I can main story with it. Our course is set, Tataru. It may be some time before Akali and I return to Ishgard. Right. That's what I knew. So many people that did that for Gunbreaker and Dancer, and they didn't start the MSQ until like a week later. I was like, that I intend to start the MSQ when the MSQ is meant to be started, unofficial release, but I am gonna use that early access to level it up. I think a week I can get those 10 levels up. I already got my fancy new earring and I am ready to go. Well, you be careful, alright? Oh, and don't worry about me. I'll be busy listening out for news of our lost friends. It's back to the MSQ roulette grind. My favorite. If anyone can find them, it is you, Tataru. Farewell for now. Oh, before you go, you must put this on Alphano. I made it specially. I pre-ordered it and I was debating, because I play through Steam, and I was debating like buying the box, and I was humming and hawing, and before I had even finished thinking about it, it was already sold out. And I was like, well, okay. And I didn't want the paladin statue anyway, but I did want that rabbit keychain super badly. No, I couldn't. Very well. By the 12, it fits perfectly, and the quality is actually rather good. I'm glad you like it. I've been practicing my needlework while I listen to rumors and the like. A good receptionist is always learning new skills. My thanks, Tataru. Whatever else awaits me on the road, I shall not fear the cold. 'Twas the least I could do. Now I must be getting back to the tavern, or I'll never catch up with all the gossip. Best of luck on your journey. Yeah. I did want that bunny, though. But yeah, the new earring is super pretty. There it is. Love it a lot. Where is Estinian? Oh, by the Sky Steel Manufactory. You have said your farewells, then? Aye, we are ready to depart. I suggest we begin our search for Lady Iceheart without delay. Very well, but she will prove to be an elusive quarry. Where do you intend to start looking? In the absence of any fresh intelligence on Ysael's movements, I propose we pick the trail where she was encountered last, the Kurthus Western Highlands. Let us speak with Sir Redwald, was it? As the commander of Falcon's Nest, it is likely he will know if any heretic activity has been reported in the area. I'm just gonna teleport. It's all good. I could walk 2 feet, or I could teleport. It's all. Well, Mistress Yano, what business brings you back to Falcon's Nest? Judging by the company you keep, it can be no trifling matter. The Azure Dragoon I know, of course, but I do not believe I have met this young gentleman. Elvener Levenair at your service, and you are not mistaken as to the gravity of our mission, Sir Redwald. As I'm sure you're aware, the Observatorium has warned that the Dravenians gather for another assault. We believe there may be a way to avert the coming conflict, but only if we can find the elusive Lady Iceheart. Thus we have come to Falcon's Nest in hopes of acquiring the latest intelligence on the heretics' movements. I see. Then you would be best served by speaking directly to my men. A patrol is due to return from its sweep of the surrounding lands at any moment. You may also wish to question the knights assigned to pick over the remains of the heretic refuge at Gogane Mills. It is possible they have unearthed information that could be of use to you. Mistress Yana knows well the place I speak of, for it was she who first discovered it. Let us divide our forces then. I will stay and await your return of the patrol while the two of you visit this refuge. When I have completed my inquiries, I will join you there. A wise use of our time. Come, Akali, I am eager to learn what Sir Redwall's men have found in the heretic's lair. I will also do this at the same time. To be efficient. So this is Falcon's Nest. To think that the architectural styles can differ so even within the same nation. Going to new places is a veritable feast for the senses. Such wonders grandfather must have beheld in his journeys with Master Itoa. But such musings must wait. We have a task to do. Let us begin by speaking with the people here. When you have finished, pray come and meet me at the hamlet's northern entrance. I am unfamiliar with the taint of which you speak. We do consider dragons unclean, however. Speaking of the beast, lately there have been reports of a strange woman skulking about the remains. We are on the lookout for her, unless she proved to be a heretic. It would also behoove me to grab any quests in blue. The taint? Never heard of it. We've had a strange visitor, however, a foreign woman with the stench of death about her. Suspicious as she was, I decided to steal a peek at her belongings, and forgive me, but the mere recollection of it is like to bring up my breakfast. Anyway, after that, some few of us confronted her and demanded to know the purpose, but she refused to say a word. Nay, she looked straight through us with empty eyes and left the hamlet. As I recall, she was headed to the north and west. Wherever she has gone, we are well rid of her. Put me down. So, as I was talking about... Oh, there we go. No? You won't show me? I wonder if I have to find one first. Alright, we'll do that in a second. We'll come back to you. The rumors of this strange woman are on everyone's lips. This is likely but a coincidence, but it appears we are headed in the same direction as her. There are water sources in the northwestern corner of the region, frozen lakes to be precise, and I would take our investigation there. I mislike the sound of this woman, and I'd sooner not cross paths with her, but we have a mission to fulfill, so let us keep moving. So, we have this handy-dandy little tool that Ashrafan gave us for being amazing, and it will lead us to something that we need. So 94 malms. There it is. I could have just walked straight and found it. So these are aether currents, and I need to find all of them to fly. But I also need to do quests to fly. It's very complicated. So there we go. Long aether currents. So yep, I have to find 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 more of those and do 5 specific quests. So anything with a blue exclamation mark will be a flight quest. Oh, hell no. There it is. Excuse me. Not really head. Oh, I technically am headed east, I think. I hope it's not up there. Oh ho ho! Excuse me, gentlemen. Don't mind me. Oh, this one's very far, right? We will move along then. Still very pretty here, despite being a frozen wasteland. You can actually go into Western Korthlands in 1.0. It was part of the main story, but then they rebuilt the game from the ground up, and we only got Central Korthus instead of Western Korthus. Or instead of both of them, technically. But it's very different from how it once was. Obviously, it's all frozen over. Korthus used to be actually quite green. Chilly, because it's in the mountains, but very lush. I know this mount is no faster or slower than any mount I have, but I feel like I'm going at a slug's pace on it. See how well my memory is. Oh, I don't need my memory. It's right there. Up the stairs, as you do. Just a simple farmhouse. It makes one wonder what other innocent facades the heretics have chosen to hide behind. Mistress Yana, our findings, you say? Well, there is something of a tale there. No sooner had we chanced upon the promising-looking sheaf of letters when we were ambushed by the shadows of great white beasts. It would seem the heretics foresaw our coming and left behind pests to discourage further investigation. Several of our number were badly wounded. And you cannot carry out your duties until the creatures are slain. We have not the time to wait for reinforcements. Let us deal with these pets ourselves, Akali. He's very much more gung-ho than he used to be. He used to make me do everything. Oh, bears. I heard a frightful growling from below. You encountered more of the beasts, I take it? Yep. But I'm stronger than any bear alive, so it's all good. Oh, Estinian's here. The beasts are slain then? My thanks, Mistress Yana. We may return to our duty without fear of a mauling. My inquiries availed me not. The patrol leader had little to report beyond which of these extremities had frozen off most completely. Alpha now. The expedition leader has a promising lead to aid you in your search for Lady Iceheart. You wish to track down Lady Iceheart, is that not so? The records we discovered ere those beasts mauled by my comrades appeared to be some manner of correspondence. We had not the luxury of pursuing their contents more closely, intent as we were on surviving an onslaught of fang and claw, but I'd wager these epistles contain more than friendly situations betwixt lonely heretics. My interrogation of the patrol proved fruitless. Either we divine some clue from these letters, or we wander the snowfields and pray that the gods lead us right to Iceheart's door. It is hardly a choice at all. I could have sworn I saw one. Maybe it just glitched through the door. Where are these damnable pages? I'd rather battle 20 Avis than continue this confounded search. I have found few of these letters. Let us gather a respectable stack and see what secrets the expedition captain can wring from the collected correspondence. Have you recovered much of the heretic's correspondence? Estinian, did you try in all of them? Splendid. Added to the contributions from Master Levier and Sir Estinian, we now have more than a dozen letters. What have we here? Every one of these pages was a record of the dealings between the Gorgon Mills heretics and their fellows in the amphitheater. There are requests for foodstuffs, clothing, and all manner of provisions. Iceheart's followers must yet inhabit the ruins we had thought abandoned. Akafa is taken from the dragon's tongue. It means roughly eternal circle. 'Tis little wonder the heretics thought to return to this place. Elfino seems intent on traveling to the Akafa amphitheater. The Akafa amphitheater, the very place where you witnessed the manifestation of the primal Shiva, was it not? If that is our destination, the journey will be long indeed. The amphitheater lies on the other side of a treacherous tract of ice and snow that cannot swiftly be crossed. Then we must place our faith in the Aethernet. As you may recall, our dear friend Moonbreda succeeded in recreating the Ak-Ahaf beacon after it had been destroyed by Lady Iceheart. At the time, it was assumed that the resilient Aetherite would only be temporarily viable, but given that the heretics of Gorgon Mills seem to have been in regular contact with their brethren at the amphitheater, I'll wager it still functions. I suggest we make for the Aetherite within Snowcloak without delay. Correct me if I'm wrong, Istinian, but in the course of mapping the Snowcloak tunnel system, a passage was discovered leading out into the Western Highlands, was it not? Might it be possible for us to reach the Aetherite from this side of the wall? It should. House Durnadari posted soldiers at the Western Highland entrance after the tunnels were cleared, but they will not deny us entry. Yeah, we can just teleport to Dragonhead. We don't have to go through this land of ice and snow. Music is so pretty. Dun, dun, dun. I really need to get some classes up, cause White Mage is only 56, and we are at level 51 stuff. So I need to spread the XP out from some of my other classes, at least a little bit. Have I missed an aetherite? Oh, I sure frickin' did. Can I get back up here? How possible is that? Oh, very possible. Northwest. Oh, I don't think there's any going in here. I'd have to go all the way around. I will do this in my free time. I will not waste everybody's time with this. That would be crazy. So I will do the aetherite quests as well. I'm fine. Ah, the guest of House Four Toms, accompanied by the Azure Dragoon, no less. I can't imagine what brought you out this far, but you're welcome to enter the tunnels if that is your will. Assuming the Akafa beacon still functions, and we must pray to the 12 it does, we shall arrive at our destination in mere moments. Though I do not expect it to be greeted by the primal Shiva, we should nevertheless be prepared for a frosty reception. The heretics are not like to rejoice at the appearance of uninvited guests, particularly ones with our history. An impressive structure. I wonder how many ages it has endured. Mayhap you should ask its occupants. They seem a friendly bunch. Dogs of Ishgard! Is it not enough you banish our beloved saint? Will you not be satisfied until the ice is slick with the last drops of our blood? Stay your weapons. We come under the flag of parley. We only wish to speak with your mistress, that we might broker a peace. Do you think us fools, boy? It will take more than honeyed words to earn our trust. You walk with the Dragon Slayer, and we know too well what he is capable of. My reputation precedes me. They give us little choice. Come, brothers. May dragon wings bear us to victory.
Your guard is down. just watch Justinian fly in like a rocket.
You like what? Full horizontal.
Focus. Release!
Know your folly.
Excuse me. They fight like demons. 'Tis death to remain. Fall back, brothers. Retreat to the cinders. I see no sign of Lady Iceheart. Would that we could have questioned one of them. What would you ask that we don't already know? They make for the cinders, and so must we. Even should an ambush await us, 'tis certain there will be more heretics to question. The cinders, you say? I confess the name is unknown to me. Perhaps you would be so good to enlighten us, Instinian. I suspect it is the heretic's way of referring to the Dreaming Dragon, an island of sorts found in the midst of a frozen lake of ash pool. Some 500 years past, 'tis told the Azure Dragoon of the age fought a dragon of titanic proportions. After a savage struggle, the mighty creature was weakened unto the point of death, and forced into a magic slumber by an entire chapter of the Holy Sea's sorcerers. Ere long, a rain of ash and cinders did begin to fall upon the sleeping serpent's motionless form, covering the creature at length in a shroud of grey. Of course, a thick layer of ice has since formed on top of it, but you may be sure I speak true. A fascinating tale. We should make haste to this Ashen Isle. Only in land where war has raged for thousands of years could enough ash fall to bury a dragon the size of an island. The Dreaming Dragon lies far to the west. Before we approach the frozen beast, however, there's another place I would visit first. I am told the convectors have set up a camp in Twin Pools. Their leader, Shanala, will have information for us to use. But mayhap you're not familiar with the name either. The convictors are dragon slayers, after a fashion, but I'm willing to wager that they encounter their fair share of heretics. If we were indeed walking into a trap, I would learn all there is to know of our foe. A sound suggestion. Let us speak with these convictors then, and temper our haste with measure of caution. Oh, so far. Well, I bet if I follow the river, it'll be alright. What's really far is the girl with the dragon tissue. That's a funny quest name. Oh, let me up. Oh no. Oh yes, aetherite. Oh, it's so dark. Well, well, what do we have here? Hoping to join the esteemed ranks of the convictors, are we? The hard-eyed lass looks promising, but you have a frail look about you, boy. I give you 3 days ere the wilds claim your corpse. I beg your pardon? Be not so quick to judge. I have seen this frail youth fell heretics with a flick of his wrist. And who are you to question my... By the Fury! That armor, that lance, the Azure Dragoon himself graces our camp. Pray forgive my disrespect, sir. I am Genelit, leader of the convictors and fellow slayer of dragons. May I ask what winds, fair or foul, carry you into our humble camp? Ah, Lady Icehart, is it? I know her by reputation, but I'm afraid I've seen naught of her or her people. That said, my own men can be somewhat lax when it comes to making reports. You may wish to question them yourselves. Thank you, we shall. Akali, Astinian, let us make our way through the camp and see what information there is to be had. Elfino is eager to gather information on the heretics. Surely one of these people will have encountered heretics while out hunting. Pray speak with as many as you can, Akali. Excuse me, I gotta get that. I gotta get that right now. Oh, I'm not gonna be able to get that right now. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. These rocks cannot contain me. Looking for heretics, you say? I don't know why you go and bother. Why don't you go bother Paraquet or someone? I've got enough trouble keeping these preening fops fed and clothed as it is. It's no business of mine what folk do with themselves out there in the wilds. Nay, I know of no heretics. Do you honestly expect me to keep track of every Remites, Veramon, and Baronet that wanders out in and out of camp? Stop saying French names at me. I can't pronounce them. Huh? Are there any heretics in the area? I have not the faintest idea. Why, a heretic could pass under my very nose, and I should be none the wiser. I hunt dragons, my dear lady, the big ones. Forever do I scan the skies for signs of my prey. I care not for the miserable creatures that scurry upon the ground. I shoved Midgarstormer into my pocket. Something I can help you with, my lady. Heretics, is it? Well, I've never seen one myself, but that ain't to say I haven't heard a thing or two. I think Estinian's right there. Oh, we would be grateful for any information that you can share with us. The gods know we've gleaned precious little from talking to the rest of these people. If it please my lord, I'm Paraquet, a soldier by trade, though not much of one if I'm honest. It weren't for the love of stabbing folk that I took up the spear, see? No, it was by order of Sir Genelit's father. Still, as long as they keep paying me wages, I ain't fussy as to what they have me do. Not everyone's as patient as me, though. Plenty of low-born lads get pressed into service, start grumbling before they even see their second battle. And once they've got me thinking how unfair it all is, it don't take much for them heretics to turn their heads. From what I hear, the simple promise of freedom tends to do it. That may explain how Lady Iceheart was able to expand her following so swiftly. Sad to say, some mates of mine gobbled down the heretics' tripe and asked for seconds. Told me they were off to the Western Highlands to light a signal fire. That's how they let you know the heretics are serious about joining their ranks, apparently. Send up some purple smoke and the bastards come to you. Is that so? Why, then I am minded to start a fire. I am not familiar with the building of signal fires, but how difficult could it possibly be? Estinian wishes to prepare a signal fire to lure in the heretics. If we are to lure our foes to our position, then we must find a means of producing a signal of purple hue. As it so happens, I once heard a tale of a trapper who dropped the hide of a woolly yak onto his campfire. Aside from the terrible stench, the story also described in detail how the smoke from the smothered flames was tinged a deep violet. You are a monster hunter of some note, are you not, Akali? It should prove a trifling task for you to procure a number of hides. We may need to burn more than one ere the heretics notice our beacon. Master Alphino, you and I shall gather wood for the fire. Aye, it will take the both of us to find enough dry fuel in this frozen wasteland. Let us meet again at the Dreaming Dragon with the fruits of our labor. Oh, I do believe. Aetheric Anthem. Oh Lord, they coming. Ooh. Oh. Alright, time to slay a yak. Do I want to be? Thank you very much. How many yaks must we slay? Oh, that hurt a lot more than I thought it was going to. I just took it, and I wish I had. How close is my White Mage quest? Oh, it's still a distance. Eh. There's another one on one of these rocks. I bet my bunny ears on it. There it is. Excuse me, sir. Don't look at me. Ugh. left Isgard on a mission of noble purpose, and now here I am scrambling for sticks in the snow. How can my hands be at once so numb yet so sore? 'Twould seem that collecting firewood is a new experience for Master Elfino. His must have been a privileged upbringing. Have you the hides we need?
Ah, I should have known it would be you. Word reached me of a struggle with a small but well-armed band of trespassers. Forgive my comrades their hostility. Few come here uninvited, and fewer still with good intent. Now, tell me why you are here.
We wish to speak to you.
So, you seek to stem the Dravanian tide with talk? A romantic notion. If you but knew the truth, the spark which lit the flames of this animosity, you would understand the futility of your quest. Shall I relate it to you? The sordid history my gift has shown me. That which the Holy See has taken such pains to suppress. 'Twas more than a millennium past when an Elezen tribe first sought to claim the lands of Kurthas as its home. Unfortunately for them, Kurthas was already home to dragonkind, and they were not inclined to make way for the invaders. Thus did a bloody war begin. A war which might well have rumbled on until one or the other side was exterminated, had it not been for the resolve of a single woman. That woman's name was Shiva. While those around her fought and died, she attempted to parley with the dragons, and in so doing discovered them to be possessed of profound intelligence and reason. The great worm Hreisvelgar, in particular, so enchanted Shiva that she found herself growing to love the creature, whom her people considered a monster. In the eyes of a near-immortal dragon, however, the fleeting life of an Elezen is as that of a freshly cut rose. Scarce has the flower bloomed before it begins to fade and wither. Such melancholy musings plagued Hreisvelgar, who had found in Shiva an unexpected and beloved soulmate. He knew that all too soon, death would snatch her away from him. Unable to bear the thought of their separation, the maid bid the worm consume her, that their spirits might be entwined for eternity. Though loath to perform the deed, Hreisvelgar ultimately gave in to her plea, and soon thereafter the tale of their ill-fated love spread throughout the two warring factions. No more could they raise blade or claw against one another, knowing that the souls of their kin were so inextricably bound. In the days that followed, man and dragon learned to live in harmony, and together built a nation unlike any the world had ever known. For 200 years did this blissful age of peace continue, as it would to this day, had vilest envy not stirred in the hearts of the Elezen. It is said that worms owe their longevity to the boundless reserves of vitality found within their eyes. And 'twas in this belief that a traitorous band of knights deceived their allies of some 2 centuries, and took by force that which they coveted. Nidhogg, he who now stands poised to unleash his wormlings upon Ishgard, was the great dragon who lost an eye to Elezen treachery. And until he prizes it from the hands of the traitor's progeny, no amount of conciliatory words will stay his fury.
You are wrong, Lady Iceheart. Lest you misunderstand, I do not doubt your vision of the past. 'Tis true that Nidhogg greatly desired to reclaim the Eye. Indeed, it was for that very reason that I kept it with me as I roamed the land, attempting to draw him away from the city.
Good gods!
You still got that in your pocket? We learned nothing from our Dragoon questline, Istinian.
Until recently, Nidhogg seemed unable to resist its allure and pursued me relentlessly. Needless to say, that is no longer the case. Now, it would seem, he has fixed his attention on Ishgard itself, though he knows full well the Eye does not reside there.
You believe he targets the capital for another reason?
I believe reason has all but left him. Through the Eye, I feel much of what Nidhogg feels, and the dragon's thirst for vengeance will not be quenched by aught less than a sea of blood.
If Nidhogg is indeed lost to reason, might we not seek an audience with Hraesvelgr instead? He has thus far shown no inclination to aid in the invasion of Ishgard, and may yet welcome our efforts to broker a peace.
You still believe that a peaceable solution can be found? Very well. I will take you to him. Our road will lead us to Dravania, the homeland of dragonkind. There we shall ascend unto the clouds, where Hraesvelgr resides.
Is aught amiss, my friend?
I was just having like a heart
I
attack
sense the
and they
many
walked away
battles are
from me.
beginning to take their toll. Rest a while, and should you lose sight of us, Dravania lies beyond the mountains to the west.
Curious. The vestiges of thy mistress's blessing are not as faint as once they were. Thy will to succeed grants thee unusual fortitude. But will it be enough?
Oh, hello everyone. We journey to the homeland of dragons, Akali. The scholar within me burns to see the sights I have but read about, as does the child within me, I confess. Be on your guard, warrior of light. With the mistress of the heretics as our guide, we may yet find that we are being led to our graves. Is this better? Oh, it's hard to say. It's true. Lady Iceheart stands ready to lead you and your companions to Dravania. You are Akali, yes? Pray address me as Ysayle, if you wish. 'Tis passing strange, is it not, that fate should bring us together thus? Never did I think to walk alongside the warrior of light. But history is full of such unexpected alliances. Shall we make our way into Dravania, then? The chill of the western highlands is unrelenting, and I would sooner be under the sheltering canopy of the Chocobo forest. Whoop-ya. I think I will snatch the rest of my White Mage quest up, and then we will head to the next zone and call it there. Don't look at me. I'm busy. Can I make this jump? Whoop. There we go. Why all the way out here, you maniac? And it's dangerous. Good gods, the stench is overpowering, even in the frigid clime. Forgive me for interrupting, but what are you doing? Searching. Huh. Rather more damage than I would have liked, but it will serve. After all, the experiment proceeds apace. Experiment? What in the heavens are you doing? Why must I justify myself to you? That's fair. Well, I suppose you have no obligation to do so, but it's just not every day that I see someone, rummaging through a dragon's corpse. So I frighten you then? You find me repulsive like the rest of them? No. You misunderstand. I didn't mean to give offense. Whatever you do is your business, to be sure, but it isn't safe to be alone out here. What would you suggest, then? That I find a stout protector like your friend, as if anyone would be willing to help me? This girl is a bag of sunshine. Huh. The aura you emanate. They sent you to hound me, haven't they? To remind that witch, Alaqua, that she has no place in the world. Alaqua? I am warning you. Leave me alone. Well, that was certainly queer. I know not what compelled me to speak with that woman, Alaqua. I believe she called herself, but I must confess to being morbidly curious about her experiment. But I mustn't let myself be distracted. We have work to do. Unless I am mistaken, the taint has manifested in this area. Let us split up and search for it. Nope. Please. Goodness gracious. Ding, ding. The foulest of taints. Oh, the holy feels good on my eyeballs. I love elves. You really gotta... Have you seen Emmerich and Oshafont and how good they are? Upstanding boys. There's some good elves out there. You just gotta open your heart to them. You found the taint and purified it. Well done. Though I cannot help but wonder, is it truly a coincidence that the taint chanced to have manifested where we met Aliqua? Being frozen to the bone isn't conducive to conversation. Let us return to Falcon's Nest and warm ourselves before we discuss matters in earnest. Crap. Hold on, I need to go I need to go to the other zone so I don't have to walk all the way back. So I'll get back to you on that one. It won't let me jump down from here? Please, Final Fantasy. Yeah? No. I so rarely walk through here that I was super worried I was going to get incredibly turned around and lost.
Beyond Abalathia's spine, the great mountain range that spans the continent of Aldenard from east to west. Into the deepening shadows of Som-Al, where lies the ancient home of dragonkind. To a land where the soil slithers and the skies seethe with sinuous shapes, they came.
Ooh, Aether Current. We now stand on the threshold of Dravania. The path to Som-Al will take us far to the west, beyond the embrace of the forest branches. It will be a long and demanding journey. Might I suggest that we take our rest at the village up ahead and see that we are properly provisioned? There is a village here, but I thought these lands the sole domain of dragonkind. Why would anyone choose to live in so perilous a place? The wild chocobos. Tailfeather was built by hunters who make their living capturing and selling the beasts. Their leader, Marisha, is an acquaintance of mine. Being a gregarious sort, he will no doubt welcome our arrival, and he will also possess more recent knowledge of the road we seek to travel. I trust there are no objections? Only to the ceaseless chatter. If we are to meet this acquaintance of yours, let us do it before Ishgard burns. Wait, I need this aetherite current. We go to the village, we grab the aetherite current, we teleport and finish the White Mage quest, and then we'd be done. I like these trees, they're crazy. Well, tan my hide and call me Leatherface. We have visitors. Oh, if it ain't the loveliest sail. It's been too long, Rue. Yes, it has, Marisha. That it has. My companions and I are on a pilgrimage to Somal. Might we stay in tail thither a while and prepare for the next leg of our journey? Of course, stay as long as you like. In fact, I wouldn't suggest leaving the forest at all. The dragons have been absolutely bleeding murderous of late. Forgive me, sir, but I'm not sure I understand. Do the dragons not bother you here in the forest? Bother us? Did you say I'll not explain things to you, boy? You've seen them towering, Calum trees all about, haven't you? If you were flying above the canopy, you'd barely be able to see the ground. As you'd expect, the local wildlife's canny is enough to stay hidden beneath the leaves, which is why the dragons do their hunting elsewhere, and we can do ours in peace. I see. Thank you for the explanation. You're welcome. Now I know it won't stop you to sail, but dragons ain't the only things you'll need to keep an eye out for, especially if you're set to heading west. I will grab the dragoon top. Okay, we will leave that there, and we'll talk to everybody. I have read wildly of the world and its wonders, yet after taking but a few steps into the unknown, I'm reminded how much I have to still discover. Whoa. These hunters scrabble in the shadow of dragons for naught but the love of coin. Greed inspires courage and madness in equal measure, it seems. I am glad to see Marshaw is doing well. Yep, me too. Okay, good. Alright, goodbye everyone. I have things I must do. With your most recent effort, I sense that your power continues to grow. Suffice it to say, this is a boon to our cause. The mission proceeds smoothly thus far. If we continue following the water vein, it should lead us to the source of the taint. As for the stranger Aqua, never have I felt so unsettled in someone's presence. The thought of that she might be connected to the taint also bothers me, but until we know for certain, it avails us not to dwell upon it. For now, I shall resume my investigation of water veins and try to deduce other locations where the taint might appear. Leave the investigation aspect of the mission to me, and pray continue honing your powers of purification. After all, no one else can purge the taint but you. I will actually start the next one, because I believe I can, if only so I don't accidentally start it while I'm trying to unlock flying out here. Ashiva has terrible news regarding the taint. Terrible news, Akali! The manifestation of the taint you purged here has reappeared. The fiends nearby were driven into a frenzy all over again, and they reportedly attacked a knight on patrol. Though the man managed to flee the convictory, the wounds are grievous, and to compound matters, the camp's Shurgans are all afield and cannot readily return. You are his only chance, Akali. You must go to the convictory and save him. Okay, well, I'm in level 50 gear, and this is a level 56 quest, so we're not gonna do that. But at least we've started it, so I don't accidentally continue it. Where is he? I will have to remember not to accidentally do that, or I will get my ass kicked. So I will get, I'm gonna actually do some side quests on my own eventually to get flying unlocked here a little bit faster. All these side quests are usually lore things, which are fun, but not overly necessary. And we are on a very, I have to get to the end of this game by November. So, flying will make everybody's lives, mine specifically, much easier. Gosh, there was, I never really had too much of a problem until I hit samurai quests. And there's a samurai quest that I tried to do despite being in the proper gear that absolutely kicked my ass. And there was a cowboy samurai in like blue. That's all I remember, but it was absolutely brutal. Thank you so very, very much for being here. I am off tomorrow, but on Tuesday I will be back. 2 p.m. with Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, and 6 p.m. Near Replicant. There is going to be a Dragon Guard explanation at the beginning, because it's important to explain things about Drakengard. So I am going to be working on a little presentation to show before Near Replicant. So don't be late to class because there will be homework. Thank you very much, Devil. So yes, but I will be back with more Final Fantasy at 5 p.m. EST on Saturday and Sunday. Thank you so very, very much for being here. I hope you all have a very lovely evening and take care. I hope to see you soon, and goodbye.